Got my LaCroix. This is good stuff. I don't know if you guys drink carbonated water, but I love this. In the Army, we have a couple categories that we get paid by, right? You have your base pay, which is what everyone gets, and that's based on your pay grade and your time in service, right? And then we have extra pays, right, or additives that are called, you have your BAH and then you have your BAS, right? And so BAH is what you get for housing, so basic allowance for housing, and then your BAS is your basic sustenance allowance, right? And so that's basically money for food, and those are about the same for everyone, but they can vary a few $100s based on your rank as well as if you have kids or not, right? And so in my case, I'm an E6. I got promoted to staff sergeant. That's what an E6 is in the Army last April of 2022. And so with that, I had a base pay of $3,711 as a staff sergeant with 6 years of service. And then I am stationed down here in Miami. In particular, I live in Pembroke Pines, Fort Lauderdale area. So my zip code qualifies me for $3,009 of BAH. And then my BAS is $452. That doesn't really change based on where I'm at. That goes up kind of with inflation and whatever. So this year, 2023, that became $452. But we'll use that for the last 12 months just to make the calculations easier, because I don't want to go back and have to look at what I was getting last year and add the math. But whatever, off the soapbox. And so before I get into adding up everything and exactly how I made the $100,000, there are other pays that you can get from being in the service as well. There's incentive pays, there's special pays, you know, like jump pay, which you get for being a parachutist. You got high halo, so people who jump even higher than the regular parachutists. We have dive pay, you know, med pay. There's a whole bunch of other things that you can get added on based on if you have any ASIs, additional skill identifiers, or anything added onto your LES. So we can go and add up all of my numbers that I had last year that helped me make over $100,000. So first, of course, I already mentioned my base pay, which is the $3,711. You got that, and then my BAS, which was the $452, and then the BAH was the $3,009. And so after tax, after my TSP contribution, I was taking home about $3,000 every 2 weeks, so about $6,000 a month. So of course I had to pay my federal taxes, which takes a little bit of money out of that, and then I had to contribute. I don't have to, but I choose to contribute the max to my TSP. And so after that's taken away too, I get about $3,000. It's like $3,009 in that realm, $3,010. It varies from month to month. I don't know what really makes that vary. I guess it's whatever they take from my TSP or whatever. But it's 1 month it'll be $3,009, the other one it'll be like $3,011. You know, so we'll just, for ease of math, $3,000 every 2 weeks for a total of $6,000 a month. Right, and so over the 12-month span, that adds up to about $72,000. It was a little bit more than that. It was closer to that $73,000, but we're trying to go easy math here. So we're going to $72,000 for the last 12 months. So in addition to my base pay that I got last year, I went on 2 TDY trips. I went one to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and then I did another one to Fort Cavazos, because it just changed the name, Fort Cavazos, Texas. Right, and so in Arizona, I got about $59 a day. Plus, I got hotel, and I also got the rental car, but I don't get to keep that money, so we're not going to count that one as income, because the second I get the hotel money or the second I get the rental car money, it goes straight to the hotel, straight to the rental car. But the per diem, which is Latin for by the day or for each day, that's the money that I get for food, and so I can spend that money essentially on whatever I want. I can buy myself a LaCroix, or I could buy myself drinks, or, you know, I can actually use it for food, which is what I probably did with it. I did try to eat on less. I didn't spend the entire $59 on food that day. You know, I tried to meal prep and buy stuff like that. And so in Texas, I got $55 a day, and that was for 10 days. And then I already mentioned the $59 I got for Arizona, and I was there about 30 days, maybe about 35 days. And so the two of those together, I ended up having about $2,300 between those two TDY trips. So I had my original $72,000 that I made from the Army, and then I have my additional $2,300 that I got for my TDYs or my temporary duties that I did with the Army as well. So right now we're at a total of $74,300. And so some additional income that I have, and I like to count these because they are income, and I can say that the military provided those for me because I used my VA loans to get these 2 homes, as well as my Army paychecks paid for those homes, right? I saved up the money to do those things, and now they're just paying me dividends. And so I have my home in Colorado, which I get about $1,500 a month for that and rental income. And of course I have a mortgage. The mortgage is about $900. And so, but the entire $1,500 is mine. I could spend it how I want. I could choose not to pay my mortgage if I chose to. So we're gonna count that whole $1,500 as income, right? And so for the 12 months, that totaled out at $18,000, right? And so we have the original $74,300 plus the $18,000, which added up. Right now, we're currently at $92,300. I feel like I've said dollars 55 times since we started this video, but I know I'm gonna say it about 50 more times. So in addition to the Colorado home, I also have my home here in Florida, and I had 2 roommates for most of last year, and they gave me about $1,000 a piece. And so for that was an additional $2,000 a month that I got, times that by 12 was $24,000. Easy math, right? And so we have my $92,300 tongue twist that I keep getting, and plus the $24,000, and that added up total to $116,000 that I made last year. $116,300. Can't forget the 300. It's important. In addition, I also had some dividend checks. I made about $400 in dividends totals last year because I own about $10,000 in stocks. I want to mention the dividends because it's a really big goal for me for that dividend to eventually replace my paycheck, but that's 10, 15 years down the road. My brokerage account's kind of small now. I want to grow it, and I also had to liquidate it to buy my second home, so that dividend shrunk a lot. So my current dividend's only about $100 for the whole year. But last year I had a decent size account. It was about $30,000, and so I was getting about $450 in dividends. So if we count the dividends as well, grand total of what I made last year was $116,700, right? And I did all that with the military paycheck. Okay, so I want to start getting these videos out a little bit more often, trying to do them weekly, maybe even get them bi-weekly, right? You can tell me if you guys like this comment by hitting that like button, hit that subscribe, and maybe even hit that notification bell. That's how I know videos like this are good for you guys, so that YouTube algorithm can let me know, should I keep making videos like this? Should I do a little bit? Should I pivot, right? Because I want to keep making videos about the military, talking about the military, because it's me. I love being in it, you know? And so I want to be able to share and provide that information for you guys too as well. So till next time, y'all, have a good one.